Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you to a brand new episode of Out of the Park Baseball 21. Last episode, we completed our third full season. Sorry, third or second? I think it is the... If I look at personal info... That was the third season. I know it didn't go so hot. But... we are not far from using our draft capital very wisely indeed to build an unparalleled prospect base. For the first time this season, we're going to be featuring our exciting young rookie Adley Rutschman, as well as Luis Garcia and a couple of other youngsters. So this is very much going to be a season where the kids are going to play. So, we begin as always attempting to figure out who should be our number 3 hitter. We need someone who hits for contact and someone who's got a pretty good batting eye. Now, against right-handed pitching, Daniel Murphy still seems like the best choice. So we'll slide him in there. We've also got Carlos Tochi. This was a very nice little pickup for us last season, and I think he'll be even better this season. Good contact, decent power, good discipline, doesn't strike out very much. I think you can bat second. Do we have anybody who has a good batting eye and still hits for pretty decent contact? You know what? Let's go ahead and make Cedric Mullins a leadoff guy. And then we need ourselves our cleanup hitter. And if we're honest with each other, it's probably going to be Adley Rutschman. He basically would play well anywhere in the lineup. Lewis has a touch more raw power, but doesn't make as much contact. So I think we're going to go Rutschman, batting cleanup. Mr. Lewis, batting fifth. Like, Ryland Bannon is clearly a better hitter than Garcia now, but also strikes out more often. Who's going to be our DH? Actually, I'm going to make Murphy the DH. And then we're going to let Mountcastle play first. Right. Garcia, you can bat seventh. Perdomo at third. Or Ruiz at third. You know what? I think we pick Ruiz because he's a little bit more balanced. And then I don't have a shortstop. I just now realized that. I think Garcia plays shortstop this season. I know his value isn't quite as high as a shortstop, but I also just need someone to play the position for the short term. And then Bannon can hit ninth. Because anyone else I might consider playing as a shortstop is injured or just isn't ready yet. Right. We're going to go back to the lineup screen. I'm going to go ahead and generate me a depth chart. I'm not going to play Garcia over Lewis. But I might play him over Murphy every now and again. Garcia is a switch hitter, so I think he'll fit in very nicely against left-handed pitching. If you want to platoon somebody. Probably Daniel Murphy, to be honest with you. Alright. Let me go ahead and copy this lineup because it's a good start. And then I'm just going to go ahead and swap out... instead of Murphy, Rushman's going to bat there, you're going to bat there, and then Anthony Garcia is going to take over as DH. That sounds good. Once a week for Perdomo at both spots is fine. I don't need to rush him. Rushman, I would like you to play unless you're tired. Let's give you a chance to show what you can do. Perfect. And then I will let my bench coach set this lineup and this lineup. Pitching, let's nuke it. 5-man rotation. And let's focus on pitching ratings for right now. Alright. Who is our best starting pitcher? Let's actually just look at the starters right now. It's probably Tyler Ivey. Probably... Yeah, we'll say Ivy, Bauman, Castillo, Faulty, Ober, Tanner Scott is the closer, and now let's look at our relievers. Mr. Beckwith, you're going to fill in at the back end of the bullpen. I don't have a backup starter in the pen. That may be something we consider in the future. Mr. Fletcher, you're a very fine pitcher. Right now I need you more for your ability to get lefties out. So I'm going to go ahead and put you as primarily a left-handed specialist, but also a middle reliever. Who is the next best relief pitcher? Jeremy Walker, right? Yeah. Jeremy Walker. 7th, please. And then the rest of you 3 are all just going to basically throw innings where you can. And hopefully one of you separates out from the pack. I love we all got a whole bunch of hard tossers, and then we have Andrew Beckwith. I really like his ability to keep it in the park, though. And I really like his control. I'm quite pleased with this. Now, our biggest obstacle to really becoming an elite franchise is this lack of top-flight starting pitching talent. I do want Whitley to get a little more in AAA, but he's on the fast track to the majors, basically. Hall, same. And when both of you are ready to go, you'll probably replace existing starters. I'd like you to spend this year in AAA working on your changeup, DL. Also, stay off the DL. I know I'm hilarious. Tim Kate is probably another good choice in the future. Yeah, Adam Hall was going to be our shortstop this year, but it looks like he's maybe set back a bit. Let's get a scouting report on him. Now, the entire purpose of this season, though, is the draft. Because if we look at the rookie draft, we have the top 2 picks, which is very spicy. And there are 3 absolutely legendary talents in this draft. We're going to scout all of you. Interesting, Tamar Johnson was the other player I was really, really high on. It seems like our scout doesn't like him quite so much anymore. We'll have to see with a bit more detail if we can get him. But Jack Leiter and Andrew Jones, I think, would probably be pick number 1 and pick number 2 for me. Although some of them are a little bit less polished than others, which is fine. Let's get simming, my friends. A personal message. Adam Hall. Like, this is an okay starting shortstop. It's not an elite major leaguer. It's not a starter at shortstop for the next 10 years. But it's a good mid-range starter. I can live with that in my starting pitcher. Jack Leiter, my dude. I love it so much. I love everything he can do with a baseball. He must be mine. Please don't not declare for the draft. You would make me a very sad panda if you did. I completely forgot about these guys. Welcome to AAA. And then if we get the kind of draft I think we can... Oh, damn. You have really soured on Drew Jones. Like, really solid. Give me one more scouting report on him. Brandon Hendrix is a pretty good pitcher. He's maybe not elite level, but he's got a number of quality pitches. And he's going to have good control and especially good movement. There's some potential on him. Elijah Green is basically a worse version of Drew Jones. Cade Doughty is just whatever. I am really disappointed about some of these players and how they've gone after 1 year of high school. We just really don't like these guys all of a sudden. We didn't like randomly cut my scouting budget, did we? No, we're still good. That's very curious to me. Player development, some fairly minor improvements, but improvements nonetheless. Whitley, my boy. You're getting to that elite level movement. Oh, look at this. You're really maturing very quickly. You've got a little bit more on your stuff, but you're pretty polished. Tim Kate is proving to be almost guaranteed to get a roster spot. A few other players are about the same. Daniel Harper got a bit better. Brady Encarnacion is actually slipping a bit. Jose Ramirez is putting a little heat on his fastball. That's a good sign. Rock Riccio. Really good speed. Good outfielder. Maybe not such a good hitter, though. I'm ever so slightly bummed that our opinions of both players has kind of cratered. Mr. Tochi, you're fine. I'm not gonna stop simming just for that. We're still only on high, not very high. OSA soured on him a bit, too. Can I get one more, please? Termar Johnson. Now, here we've still got a pretty big difference of opinion between us and OSA. Basically, it comes down to will he hit for contact, and if he hits for power, how much? Let's get one more scouting report on him. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, unless he doesn't declare for the draft, which would make me very sad, Jack Leiter is the #1 overall pick. What has happened to you? What cratered? It's like all of a sudden, he turned 18, and we're just like, oh my god, this guy sucks. I guess them is the breaks, right? Let us actually kick the tires on a few other picks. Hodorovich, that's fun. Go ahead and give me some more scouting reports here. Both of you really plummeted after one full season. But you're both still so ridiculous. All three of you are ridiculously young. Which means this could easily change the other way, too. Some of the sheen has definitely come off of you. So if we're using the traditional 5-tool prospects, hitting, base running, throwing arm, fielding, hitting for power, hitting for average. Right now, he fields, and he steals. He's at least a 2-tool player. He's got a pretty good throwing arm, makes him a 3-tool player, but he'll probably never hit for power. And his entire value is going to come down to, will he ever learn to hit for contact? If he does, he will be a very good starting shortstop. I just need him to hit enough to carry his glove. Now, he did make some big strides last season, mostly in hitting doubles. Drew a few more walks, didn't strike out as much. Michael Braswell. No. I would take Johnson over him in a heartbeat. Because even though his ceiling is much... It's like... I would take him in the second round. I would not take him with one of the top 2 picks. Oh dear. Oh dear. We just don't have a lot of great hitters in this draft. He's like, yeah, I don't see it. I'm really kind of bummed right now. We're off to quite a nice start this season, though, which is nice. I just don't think it's going to last. I don't think we have the pitching to keep us in it for all that long. We're basically going to have to hit out of our skulls in order to make it. And maybe we do. But, let's see here. More control from Olber. Nice to see. Palmeiro's a tiny bit better. Larnick's a tiny bit worse. And some other interesting changes, but nothing too shocking. Daniel Murphy wants to come back. How much money would you like to come back? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you delusional? Because I am not. I am not paying a 37-year-old player who's kind of good $14 million. That's just, wow. Okay, bro. It does remind me, though. Is there anyone here that I would like to try to bring back? I still like Miguel Castro. He wants a fairly decent raise, though. And I'm frankly not sure he's worth it yet. Let's give him a bit more time, maybe get our scouts to help us weigh in on him. Cole Stewart. Maybe give him a minor league extension. Is there anyone who is knocking on the door of a big arbitration payday? Not right now, really. Rio Ruiz, maybe. I'm also not convinced he's all that great. He's making a good impression this far. So I'm going to make you a deal, bro. I will talk to you about a long-term extension if you earn it. And let's get a scouting report on you. I cannot see paying that much for Daniel Murphy, regardless of what kind of season he has. I mean, maybe I trade him. Oh, what is wrong with me? Alright, Miguel. I really like your total package. It seems like so far this season you've just been a bit unlucky. Yep, I need a better pitching coach. Speaking of coaches, this is my last season. I'd like to get renewed. Mike Elias. I can do better. I'll probably replace you. Pitching coach. You're probably on the way out, if I'm honest with you. Actually, yeah, you'd be good for DL Hall, but not for Whitley. Scouting director. I could do better than you. I don't love the fact that you're only really good at the majors. I'd rather have someone who is amazing at the minors and at international and amateurs. Because that's the kind of team we have right now. This, not as important. So maybe we'll replace him. Okay. Brewy slipped just a tiny bit, I think. Or is he about the same, actually? I mean, we think he's probably peaked, which is probably fair. It's not that we don't have money to spend. I just don't want to spend that money in a silly fashion. Alright, gentlemen. Let's have a peek at the actual honest-to-goodness draft pool. Very clearly, and I know I've said this like 3 different times, but I'm going to say it a 4th time. This is my number 1 overall pick. Let's get one more scouting report, just cuz, but he's my number 1 pick. I mean, do I go double pitcher? You know, scouting report on him. Like, I don't know. Like, yes, Drew Jones is here. Yes, Termarr Johnson is here. And both of them are very young, and both of them have potentially elite level ability. On the other hand, they're also very, very risky. Like, if your power fails to develop, or you fail to hit for contact when you get to the majors, I spent the number 2 overall pick on a okay player. Like, I bet Michael Braswell is more well-rounded than Termarr Johnson, but... Now, if either of these two are sticking around by the 2nd round, I will happily grab one or both of them. But I don't have enough faith. OSA likes Termarr Johnson. In fact, if we used OSA... First of all, you really like Michael Polk, rather. Maybe I ought to request a report on him. But yeah, it's like, you think Termarr Johnson is a possible elite player. Whereas OSA thinks Hendrix is, if anything, slightly better. Oh, you like his sinker. That's really the big difference. Oh, you also think he's going to have a bit more control than we do. Jack Leiter is the consensus number 1 overall pick. And I probably would start him in single A. I don't even think I'd let him touch rookie ball. I'd even start him in double A, hell. Because he's just made college his complete and utter bitch, and he's just gotten better each year. How's the team going so far? Adley Rutschman is everything we've expected and more. Kyle Lewis is a walking trash can. Everyone else is more or less what we expected. And the entire pitching rotation is just desperately struggling. As a pitching staff, in point of fact, we're pretty terrible. I probably need a new pitching coach. Alright, Kyle Lewis. Just no. Mountcastle. How's Garcia hitting? He's not hitting much better, to be honest with you. I'd almost rather have Rio Ruiz hit fifth. Maybe let Kyle Lewis work up to it. Like, you need to be drawing, like, a lot of walks and hitting a lot of homers to make up for the fact you don't hit from much contact. Alright. I really don't know what else to do to improve this team. I think we're just going to ride it out. Jack Leiter. I'm pretty confident that we got what we need from him. Brandon Hendrix. One more report on him, please. Michael Polk. A pitcher with that little movement, and even OSA agrees that movement is not a strong suit. My dude here is going to strike out a lot of freaking people to justify taking him. And I don't think he's going to strike out that many people in the big leagues. Again, Hendrix is 60, Polk is 50. You will give me Kyle Gibson. But I'm not going to give up Oscar Pire. That's what I don't get. I mean, hell, even McKenna definitely has value. Maybe we should consider calling him up at some point. Actually, could be a really good player. But yeah, I'm not willing to mess with Kyle Gibson that much. Okay, Dean Kramer is ready to come off the DL. Go ahead and give me some rehab time. You've got to be hitting the freaking cover off the ball to be playing as well as we are. Because Lord knows we can't actually pitch right now. Hey, Ryland Bannon hit for the cycle. Nice. How is Luis Garcia doing in his first season in the majors? You know what? This is actually perfectly fine. He's not a great shortstop, but I think he's okay. How long is Falter out? Oh, we don't know yet. That's fine. Meh. Okay, you know what? No. Velasquez, you're gone. Can I get anything interesting for you? Just out of curiosity. Some of these guys are going to be awfully expensive. I mean, if we instantly want to make a bloody splash, we take Chris Sale. But we'd be stupid because he could always just opt out. So probably not the best choice. And there's a lot in here that's not helpful. Let's go down to prospects and start there. Like, before I push in and chip someone like Chris Sale, I'd want to be in a position to take advantage of it. Vidal Brujan. You're a nifty little player. You're certainly of greater value than Andrew Velasquez. I don't really need you. Could I get you to offer Daniel Cabrera? If I offer you Luis Guerrero, you'll do it. The problem is I really like Luis Guerrero. Then again, Daniel Cabrera could be a special hitter. Like, he does everything so bloody well. Is it worth offering them a potential frontline starter to get an elite level hitter? I don't think so. Boy, that's tempting, though. Nah, that's fine. I would like Dan Lotz, if you'd be willing to give him to me. Because you're an interesting type player. And you could be a potential replacement for Daniel Murphy for pennies on the dollar. So I'm going to submit the offer, and then we're going to see how you react. No way. But it wouldn't take much more. Like, I could give you Hunter Brown, who admittedly could be quite a reliever. I'm just going to give you Gray Fentner. And I'll see if I can maybe get you guys to throw in an interesting pitcher or two. Maybe a Jorge Perez. Need to think about it. Let's submit the offer. And falters out for the rest of the season. That's fine. Let's go ahead and call up Kramer for right now. But Whitley isn't far from getting this last spot here. No way. You know what? Price isn't that interesting. I'm just going to make this deal. Let me place you on the active... Oh, I didn't actually want you in the active roster. I actually wanted you in AAA. Because what I really wanted was another outfielder. And that means Mr. McKenna. Where would you like to fill him in? That seems good. And McKenna gets to come in every now and again. That's reasonable. Why wouldn't you put Mullins there instead of McKenna? I don't know. I don't know. You're nothing if not consistent, my friend. You're just not hitting for quite as much contact. Everything else is about the same, though. Oh, Mr. Mountcastle. You are having quite a season. I feel very confident letting you replace Daniel Murphy at some point. When we get closer to the trading deadline, I'll probably just swap Murphy. Here is my promise to you. If we make it to the trading deadline and we still have a chance to make the playoffs, I will make a big move. Oh, Whitley. You're getting real hard to keep in the minors, my friend. Super duper hard. Adam Hall's getting a little better. Slipping a bit. Getting better. And then you're just kind of whatever right now. This is, guys, this is what you want from a rookie, right? He's doing everything well. Just everything. He's hitting for power, hitting for contact, drawing plenty of walks. And oh, by the way, he's only a tiny shred below average as a catcher. And he's probably just learning how to catch. Whoa. That's the good stuff. Johan Ramirez is probably just about ready for the big leagues, too. Maybe not just yet, but soon. Let's sim up to the draft. Hey, yeah, okay. Oh, my dudes. Alright, let's not screw up the easy one. Give me Jack Leiter. That was easy. Now. This is really difficult for me. OSA thinks are just... If OSA was right, I would take Termarr Johnson without a second doubt. If OSA is wrong and we're right, even if he develops to his maximum potential, he's not a second overall pick. As much as this pains me, and let me be clear, It does pain me. I think Hendrix is the call. I had such high hopes. You guys know, you saw the last episode. I was gung-ho on Drew Jones. But Jones has even a worse risk. Because OSA thinks Jones isn't very good at all. Now, I could grab him with a second round pick, but I'm certainly not going to spend a first rounder on him. You know what? Even my scouting director says take Hendrix. I'm taking Hendrix. And then we'll see who's left when I get to pick again. You know what? I will happily take a chance on Drew Jones with a second round pick. I think that's an easy call. Done. Oh, and I have this pick too, don't I? Gosh, I didn't even think I'd have another good pick. Do I just like go whole hog on pitching or what? Owen Cobb is basically like a poor man's Tremar Johnson. Let's do it. I've got no issue with that. All right, Kendon Lovell. You're a soft tosser. But if you put a tiny bit of heat on this fastball, and you're very thin, I'm willing to take that chance, Mr. Lovell. Come along. Join the party. Give me batting potential. Who's the best contact hitter left in the draft? It's a couple of relievers. What is your deal, Brandon Smith? Ooh. I'm going to give him a shot. I'm going to make him a two-way player as he goes up through the ranks and see if he can handle it. 5th round pick. I do love a man who can take a walk. But I also love a man who can hit for power, too. I'm going to take Roberto Pena. I think he's got a lot of potential as a hitter. And then I'll take Mr. Califoot. Any really good power hitters left? Jonathan Cannon. I'm just going to take all these guys that are actually pitchers, but could also be first basemen. And just be like, you know what, AI, figure it out. Now we'll take Logan Bravo. We're at the point of the draft where we're really not spending much to find out what they can accomplish, so I'm totally fine with this. Calvert Clark, why not? Let's look at pitching potential. Who's got real good stuff? Alaska Abney. With a name like that, how could I say no? Probably very easily, but... Brandon Narr, sure. We're in a draft 12 right now, and I've still got... I don't think there's anyone else I really desperately want. Maybe like an elite level hitter or defender. Like Nicolas Perez here. I think that's good. Jaden Hilton. Why not? All players give me raw power potential. Spencer Jones, I'm going to draft you. I really like Max Costas, so we'll draft him too. And I think we'll just go ahead and let the scouting director pick the rest. All right. Instantly offering Jack and Hendrix. Drew Jones, you know what? You're super cheap. I'm willing to offer you a contract and see how you turn out. And look, there's every real possibility he ends up flashing out. But he's 18 years old. We know who his father was. And he's already probably the best defensive center fielder on the team. And he costs almost no money to find out, which is even better. Cobb could be a real steal. I think the name Kindon is stupid. I'm sorry if that's your name. But I think he's still a pretty good player. And I'll just go ahead and just buy everyone else because I've got a lot of money to spend. This is not the draft I thought I was getting, but maybe it's the exact draft we needed. Maybe. And let's sim forward till the end of the month. A trade proposal. Alright, Pena. You're fine. Mr. Lovell. Even the 50s at this point. There's so many 50s in my system, they're not really worth me spending a whole lot of extra time. Mr. O'Connor. No, Mr. Lovell. You were a third round pick. I am going to take over his career. I'm going to shortlist him. And I'm going to put you in single A. Low A. That's unfortunate. But also why we just acquired Mr. Bruhan. Who is the least bad at shortstop among the options that we have available to us? Perdomo? Perdomo's sitting really well off the bench. I think he's earned at least a shot to fill the spot. And then you can go ahead and generate the depth chart. And again, Mr. Perdomo. Generate the depth chart. What could I get for Daniel Murphy right now? Like, Ryan Mountcastle is smacking the cover off the ball. It's hard to me to argue that he doesn't deserve to be the everyday first baseman. I know he doesn't draw a huge number of walks, but he's hitting for loads of power. And he's going to hit for enough average to carry his power. He's even a decent first baseman. Now, do you have the platoon split? Not really. It's very minor. All right. We're going to trade Daniel Murphy, I think. I think between Kyle Lewis and Anthony Garcia, we'll find someone who will pick up the pace and be a quality designated hitter / assistant for our good friend here. But to me, it's a no-brainer. I only want to look at I'm going to start by prospects, and I'm just going to take, if you offer a really good prospect, I'm going to make the deal. But it's got to be a really good prospect is the thing. Johan Oviedo? Possibly. Jimmy Robbins. Robbins looks so good, except for this. But I do think he's got some real potential. I mean, do we really need like an amazing backup catcher? I think Ali Sanchez is just fine. Logan Allen's another soft tosser. Jaron Shelby, I've got a dozen guys like him in the system already. Alex Manoa. Now, here's an interesting name. I think he's the new front runner. Or Sean Weimer. But honestly, I think it's going to be you. Yeah, it's like, I look at Alek Manoa, and he's got an arm that's not elite yet, but it's got good speed. He's got 3 good pitches already, and they could be even better. OSA thinks he's even better than that. Can I get your mega super relief prospect? Definitely needs more. Okie dokie. How about an outfielder who'll never hit? Done. I know the players in the clubhouse might be upset, but it had to be done, and I think we made the right call. Who gets the next? Who's next man up? First of all, Grayson Rodriguez needs to get added to the 40-man. So does PRA. Let's do that. No, there's no reason to do it right now. Emerson Hancock, you're getting promoted. Manoa, I definitely want you in AA. I completely forgot about Daniel Corona Jr. He could be a really good one, too. Let's let him enjoy his time in A-ball a bit longer before we push him, though. What position are we short at still? Do we just pick Clough for the sake of having another shortstop, or... Like, I've already got 4 outfielders. I don't need a 5th, really. And I could use, like, a proper shortstop, right? Let's active... but I also don't want to put him on the 40-man. Damn. Like Chatham, maybe? How many pitchers do I have? I have 13 pitchers. I don't really need 13. Like, Clay Fisher is at least a really good shortstop. Yeah, let's go ahead and promote him. And then I'm going to go ahead and Mountcastle is going to take over at first, full time. Rushman at third. And then I do need a designated hitter. Have any of my current candidates for designated hitter actually hit all that well? Fuck it, let's make a Bruhan for right now. No, that's silly. Let's give McKenna a chance. Just let's see what he can do. Dude, you're making it so hard to even think about letting you go. Ryland Bannett's crushing it. I do think we're probably past time to call up Whitley, though. I know team chemistry is going to be an issue now. That's fine. Hey, we got Clay Fisher as the new captain. Nice work, buddy. Ryan Mountcastle keeps people loose, and then these two guys just have lots of things to talk about. That's fine. Let's get some more on Mr. Mullins here. Oh, did we get any more signings? Brandon Smith. You're fine wherever. I do feel a little bit guilty about trading Murphy but then again, we didn't really need him. Mountcastle can do his job cheaper, and I was never paying him $14 million. I think we made the right call. He's a plus runner, good judge of the strike zone, average major league starter. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. He's reliable, which is more than I can say the way the team looked even last season. Remember, my target is 70 wins this year. If I get to 70 wins, I'll consider it a victory. Bailey. I'll probably actually put you on the DL, and I'll probably let Avila have your spot. There we go. Oh, Miguel Castro's been sitting here all season without a role. That makes me feel kind of dumb. Whoops. Who else has signed? Jack Leiter has signed. Beautiful. I am going to put you in high A. You can stay where you... I think you actually already are in high A. You're already 20 years old. I think you probably deserve at least low A. Drew Jones. Actually, that also reminds me, I'm going to put you on my short list. Same for you. Drew, I'm going to shortlist you, but I'm not going to take over unless I think it's needed. Mr. Grove, you're fine. Jaden Hilton, whatever, dude. Owen Cobb. You also go to low A. I'm going to shortlist you, but like Drew Jones, I'm not going to take control of your development just yet. This is all fine now. Okay. And this is perfectly acceptable. I'm not going to dispute this level of production. A bit more average, obviously, would be lovely, but he's getting it done. Victor. We'd nearly forgotten about you. You're so fast and such a good center fielder, but you do literally nothing else of value. No. Why would you make this stupid offer? Like, seriously. Why would I trade for a pitcher who's worse than the one you want from me? I'm actually going to put him on the untouchable list. And then we will talk about 40-man after the season. Cedric Mullins is better, likes attendance. How do you not see players on the roster that we drafted? Are you punishing me because I didn't draft Adley Rutschman? I mean, okay, maybe that's fair, but I've got the #1 overall prospect. I think that counts for something. Oh, Rutschman still counts as a #1. Interesting. Okay. Leiter. Hancock. So good. Minor league coaches. I'm going to be more judicious about who gets extended and who doesn't. You. Come on back now. Anybody fair or poor isn't coming back. Mr. Jones, you can come back. You don't want to work for us anymore. That's a shame. Doesn't want to work for Aberdeen. I think if we pick offer to all, I think they all just take it. Yeah, which is silly, right? But I guess that's the way they're doing it, which is whatever. Yeah, John Farrell, I've entrusted you with my pitchers, and we're still real bad at pitching. Just so bad. After the All-Star break, we're going to start looking at next year's draft and figure out who we might want to target. Clay Fisher's getting to be less awful at hitting. That's fun. Dan Hammer. I like the name. Dax Stubbs. I call him Stubby. Yeah, this is all fair. There's nothing here that I definitely say is unreasonable. Well, at least one player has turned out to be better than advertised. Bruce Zimmerman's kind of been trapped in the minors for us, hasn't he? He probably deserves a major league chance at some point. Just not yet, I guess. All right. You'll give me Kirby Yates and Julian Boyd for Ryan McKenna. I don't think so. I really don't. Like, I'm not saying Kirby Yates isn't a fantastic relief pitcher. I'm just saying improving the bullpen's not going to do me any good when my starters are so bad. Like, as a team, we're pitching truly awful. And there's not much getting around that. So it's like, if I were closer to contending, I might consider this trade. But let's be honest with ourselves. We're 10 games out of first. The AL East is always a bloody dogfight. I'm only 6 games out of a wild card slot, I guess. But with 3 other teams in my division in front of me, I don't think the playoffs happen this year, no matter what happens. And so I don't feel the need to push in my chips. Not yet, anyway. Manny Mendez. Good contact, very good power, good eye and speed. I'm going to go ahead and sign him. I'm going to give you the max $5 million offer, and you're going to love it. Come on, game. We don't need to spend this much time waiting for baseball cards. I'm not trading Daniel Corona Jr. You seem to be laboring under an important misapprehension. That competing to me this year is more important than competing next year. And that is not accurate. Alright, first of all, who made the All-Star team? From Baltimore, Jeremy Walker, Adley Rutschman. And Adley Rutschman and Jeremy Walker. You know what? That's reasonable. We've got a lot of very good players, but none that I would obviously say are all-stars, besides Rushman. And let me tell you guys, you should have voted him to start the bloody game. But that's fine. Prospects game. Pierrette. That's it? I always have like 3 prospects in the prospect game. Oh, Jack Leiter. Damn, son. You just got bloody drafted, and you're already a minor league all-star. That's pretty crazy, yo. I guess I don't really have any outstanding hitters. I am a little disappointed, though. How has Jack Leiter put up 8.8 WAR? Oh, because you're counting his college numbers. That's probably a bug. But I'm not gonna say no. Makes us look good. Okay. Oh, guys, I didn't check to see if one of my players was in the All-Star game. I'm sorry. Home run challenge, that is. Luis, you were playing quite well before your injury. Let us demote to... Perdomo is hitting so well this year. Like, so well. Let us let Luis Garcia rehab. Look, I know it's really weird, but I don't want Garcia to come up only to just rot on the pine. Very strange, I know, but, you know. Guerrero Jr., it turns out, has hit a bunch of home runs. Shocking. Not shocking. How did my pitchers do? Look at Jack Leiter. They let him start the game. Nice. I approve. What was I doing? Ah, yes, rookie draft. Next year is going to probably be 10th overall pick, which is not nothing. Draft pool 2023. All players, sort by default, potential. I remember Blaze Jordan. Was I going to take you in the draft? How is that possible? How could we have drafted him in 2007 when he was 5 years old? I understand that major league organizations tend to take the long view of things. I don't think they were scouting 5-year-olds. If I'm honest with you, I'm going to scout all of the top batters I can get my mitts on. Because that is our greatest need right now, is hitters. But that's going to do it for this episode. Next episode, we're going to finish this season, go into our off season, and make some tough choices. I am genuinely excited to see what might happen next season. We've got the potential to have, like, completely overhaul our starting rotation and improve it. I mean, Hancock, Hall, and Whitley could all get promoted. Grayson Rodriguez is starting to kick down the door a bit. He is struggling in high A. This is true. We just need to let him figure himself out, though. But... And we're not even considering... Where is Braxton? Here he is. Yeah, it's like, we're not even considering, like, Jack Leiter. Jack Leiter could very well kick down the bloody door and be like, no, I'm in the majors this year. Deal with it. And that would be amazing. But we could be going from one of the worst rotations in the majors to one of the very best. And that's an extremely exciting development to me. With this catcher guiding their development, who's already slugging 6-0 bloody 6. I mean, the future is majorly bright. But we're still 1 year away. I think if we rebuild the rotation in the offseason, and there's no reason that we can't, like, we could have something truly exceptional. Like, we got a bunch of guys going to arbitration, and I genuinely don't even care if we keep them. That's how good our prospects are in pitching. We are littered with pitching depth. Hitting depth, not so much. Corona Juniors may be our only premier or premium hitting prospect. Oh, there's something else we said for Harold Cole, who just seems like he can't break through yet. Yeah, we are most definitely a pitching organization first. And we're going to add at least 2 more, probably even 3 more. I mean, Brady Encarnacion, my dude. It's not that you're bad. It's that you've just been passed up by everybody else. Anyway, friends, I think this is the perfect time to go ahead and end our episode. Feel free to drop down likes and a like if you haven't already. Comments are also appreciated. I'm particularly curious to hear what people might think about our next step. We have an okay offense right now. We just don't have any stars necessarily. We got to get a couple of stars, I think, to really carry us to the next level. But that'll be for next episode. Until then, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.